This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, it's the last day of the Emirates NBA Cup group stage. Who made it to the knockout stage? They are not hard up, but why are the Dallas Mavericks always in the trade whispers? After some trials this year, Aaron Black is back like nothing's changed. All that and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 4th of December. Now, here's our roundup. It's the last day of the Emirates NBA Cup group stage, and the Philadelphia 76ers secured a hard-fought 110-104 victory over the Charlotte Hornets, marking their second consecutive win after outmaneuvering the Detroit Pistons. Paul George led with 29 points and 8 assists, while Tyrese Maxey scored crucial points in the final quarter. Rookie Jared McCain also shone with 17 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Despite missing key players, the 76ers built a 19-point lead but had to fend off a strong comeback by the Hornets, led by Brandon Miller's 34 points. The Hornets were without several key players, including LaMelo Ball, which the 76ers capitalized on. The 76ers seem to be finding their rhythm with a recent winning streak, but it's unclear if this is due to their skills or facing struggling teams. As the 76ers prepare for their next games, Coach Nick Nurse gave no clear update on Joel Embiid's return. Embiid has missed several games due to injury management, and it remains uncertain if he's rejoining the team soon. The 76ers are now 5-14 for the season and out of the next stage of the Emirates NBA Cup. In another game with 3:34 remaining, Ja Morant's three-pointer put the Memphis Grizzlies ahead 101-103, creating a seemingly significant lead. But the Dallas Mavericks responded with an 18-2 run, fueled by 4 three-pointers, one from Luka Doncic, two from Spencer Dinwiddie, and one from PJ Washington. Plus, there was a crucial replay decision favoring the Mavs, along with some key free throws, as Dallas turned things around and secured a 121-116 victory and advanced to the knockout round as wild card. It is the Mavericks' 9th win in 10 games, and that extended their win streak to 5. Washington led the team with 18 points. Derek Lively, the second, contributed 17 points and 11 rebounds, while Dinwiddie added 16 points. On the Grizzlies' side, Ja Morant scored a season-high 31 points, including 15 in the fourth quarter, but their season-high 6-game winning streak was snapped. In other games today, the Thunder's victory over the Jazz and Spurs' loss to the Suns. The results are as follows. OKC moves on to the knockout rounds in the Emirates NBA Cup, while the Knicks push down the Magic to the wild card situation. The Rockets kept their home advantage in the quarterfinals despite losing to the Knicks, but the Warriors' loss to the Nuggets means playing the quarters in Houston. The Bucks stayed immaculate in the Emirates in-season tournament. The Cavs, Wizards, Raptors, Pacers, Clippers, and Blazers are now all eliminated from the NBA Cup, but their wins and losses still count towards the season totals. So here they are, the Emirates NBA Cup qualifiers for the West, including how they made it to the knockout rounds. They all finished the in-season tournament elimination round with 3 wins and a loss. But the head-to-head and point differentials counted. So sorry to the Phoenix Suns fans. Same story in the East. Point differentials and head-to-head victories mattered. So it's bye-bye to the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons. With the group stage over, the teams now move on to the knockout rounds. One mistake and you're gone. That's how it's gonna go. But for what? Bragging rights and this beautiful NBA Cup designed by artist Victor Solomon. Then, of course, there are the holiday bonuses for all the players making it to the knockout stage. Yes, even those who fall after one game gets to have extra cash. The knockout rounds will begin next week with the added incentive. Those are surely going to be worth waiting to see. Now for our daily dose of sports lingo. The Pinoy step is a basketball move that originated, guess where? Here in the Philippines. Now, it involves an offensive player picking up their dribble, quickly faking a shot while dribbling towards the basket, and then taking an actual shot with the last legal step. This is especially effective for shorter ball handlers facing taller defenders. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. The Dallas Mavericks are currently 14-8, sitting in third place in the Western Conference. Luka Doncic has returned after missing 5 games due to a right wrist sprain, scoring 36 points in his comeback against the Portland Trail Blazers and 37 points today against the Memphis Grizzlies. Despite the excitement around his return, trade rumors are swirling, especially regarding Maxi Kleber, who the Mavericks are reportedly looking to move before the February trade deadline. However, the Mavericks have resisted offers for their strong center duo, Derek Lively II and Daniel Gafford. Both players have been exceptional this season, with Lively averaging 9.2 points, 7.4, and 1.8 blocks per contest, while Gafford is averaging 12.6 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks per game. Their performance has turned the center position into a team strength, and the Mavericks highly value both players, making them unlikely to be traded. Lively and Gafford's selflessness and pride-free approach has been crucial to the team's success, and the Mavericks plan to keep this dynamic duo as they aim to continue their strong performance into the new year. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 4th of December. When we return, we're talking about true resilience, overcoming injuries, and staging an incredible comeback with the Meralco Bolsa's point guard, Aaron Black. So watch out for that when we return right here on The Scorecard. He missed the latter part of Meralco's incredible run to their first ever PBA championship, but the Bolts are now 2-0 in the Commissioner's Cup. What lies ahead for our guest? Well, we'll find out. Please welcome to The Scorecard the talented point guard for the Meralco Bolts, number 1, Aaron Black. Brother, good evening, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's always an honor to have a PBA champion here in BNC Studio, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, we're happy because you're finally back on the court doing your thing. How did it feel coming back to play your first game and scoring right away, making an impact, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and your team is 2-0 right now in the PBA Commissioner's Cup?
Honestly, I was just happy to be back on the court. You know, it took a while. I came back for 2 games last conference, didn't feel right, had to get surgery. So it's been a little bit of a journey to get here. So having that first game and playing well in that first game was really a culmination of all the work I put in these last 4 months. Also the work that the people around me have put in to take care of me.
And you mentioning that, playing 2 games, but listening to your body and realizing that you're not quite there yet, I think as an athlete, it's hard to accept those things. So how are you dealing with that type of situation wherein you had to decide whether you're going to continue playing or back to the drawing board first and do your rehab?
I think it's part of maturing too and getting older, like understanding your body and understanding. I've been in the league for 5 years now, so sort of understanding and asking a lot of questions to people that know the answers, you know, our trainers, our PTs, doctors, understanding what I can and can't do. So really when that happened, for me it was more, okay, how can we get this done as quick as possible so I can come back properly and normally, I can feel normal again.
And in your last game, 9 points against Rain or Shine. That was a pretty weird game considering, unfortunately, Akil got injured and it became an importless game. But would you say that right now you're 100% back to being what you were during the season where you averaged career highs in points, rebounds, and assists?
Well, still a work in progress. I think being out for 4 months is no joke. You know, coming back, a lot of the guys that are in the league have been playing these past 4 months. So still trying to get my rhythm down. Thankfully, I have teammates that are very good. I have coaches and PTs and trainers that really helped me throughout this whole process. So I'm striving to get to where I want to get, but I don't think I'm there yet.
All right. Now, before we talk about what's to come for you, I want to take a trip down memory lane because I remember the first time I ever covered you was in high school. You were playing for the Ateneo Blue Eaglets. Thirdy Ravenna was your teammate. Isaac Go was also your teammate. And there was that one game where you wouldn't miss. Lahat ng binato mo, mid-range, everything was going in. I think I was calling you like a mid-range messiah during that game. Was it always basketball for you growing up?
Actually, my first 2 years, I went to Xavier. Not a lot of people know that. I went to Xavier School, grade 1 and 2, and I played a lot of football.
Okay.
And then my dad did become the coach of Ateneo, so I moved schools. And that's when, of course, basketball was there from the start.
Yes.
I played football for a little bit, and then I went back to basketball.
Wow, I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
So you just decided basketball because you were exposed to Coach Norman who was coaching Ateneo. Ganun lang yun.
Well, I
Ganun
love
lang
the game
kasimple.
also. When I was playing football, I was still playing basketball.
Okay.
Lunch, recess, I was still on the courts playing basketball. So that's really where I fell in love. I think for me, on the basketball court during lunch and recess, playing against your classmates, things like that, I fell in love with the game.
And then you went on to win 2 championships for the Ateneo Blue Eagles in college. So what are your most fondest memories from that experience? Coach Tab, those were his first 2 championships in the UAAP as well.
Yeah, I think the first championship, I'll never forget us on the bus singing Congratulations by Post Malone. The whole bus was rocking, and it was the first time Ateneo had won since the 5-peat. So it was really a big deal for everybody, and we were underdogs. La Salle was the favorite team at that time, so us winning was really a big deal.
Second championship, Aaron, was that harder than the first one? How do you recall it?
Well, they say to go back to back is really tougher, right? We just experienced at Meralco. We won, and then the next conference was a lot tougher. But yeah, it was. I don't think it was as sweet as the first, because of course the first one will always be the one that you remember the most. But at the same time, getting back to back and being able to say that for the rest of your life is a great thing for me.
Now, I'm trying to recall. Did you have a chance to come back to join the third championship? Kasi nag-3-peat yung Ateneo, di ba? Or did you decide to sit out your final year?
I did decide to sit out my final year. I ended up going to the States to train with some of the guys going into the NBA draft over at Impact in Las Vegas. Came back, played for Mighty Sports in the Jones Cup, and then I played in NPBL in the D-League for different teams. So I thought it was, and my family as well, we thought it was the best for us to be able to do that, and thankfully it worked out in the end.
And we're seeing some of your photos. Batang-bata pa,
That's high school right
Yeah,
there.
you used to wear number 8, your original number. You wear number 1 now for Meralco. Why did you used to wear number 8?
Well, Kobe.
Kobe.
Young Kobe was definitely somebody I looked up to. I still look up to now. When I got to Meralco, Nico Salva had number 8.
Oh, that's right.
And you're not going to take a number from a veteran, right? So I chose number 1 because I'm a pretty big point guard for the PBA. So I know Penny Hardaway was the same way, and I like his game and I like the way he plays. So number 1.
You were drafted in the PBA 2019, and then I was reviewing the players who were drafted during that batch. That was the year that there was a special draft.
Yes.
Isaac Go was drafted first, and then of course the Nieto brothers as well. And then you were drafted number 18, which is, sabi nila, the lowest pick ever to become Rookie of the Year. Did you expect or think at the back of your mind na, you know what, I don't care when I was drafted, I feel like I could be Rookie of the Year?
Well, of course, when you go into a situation, you want to win that award. But no, it was not in my head. For me, when I got drafted, the number 1 thing I wanted to do is just to work, keep my head down and work, and make sure that I was ready for the league. And the pandemic hit, and I had so much time at home to work with my dad and understand because he's been in the league for so long, he understands what I need to do to be successful in the league. So those 3 or 4 months that we were able to train really helped me into my first season.
So feeling mo nakatulong yon, though that you had to go back, and then the pandemic, you felt like that helped you, that extra time to train?
Oh, definitely. I think we trained in our front yard. We have a basketball court in our garage area, and we hadn't trained there in so long. So bringing me back to me being 8, 9 years old when we used to train there, it was a really good experience.
So when did you realize that, you know what, during the process, when you started playing again in the PBA, when the games were starting to happen again, at what point did you realize hey, you know what, maybe I'm gonna go after this. Maybe I could be PBA Rookie of the Year and shock everybody.
Well, it didn't really hit me until I think we played San Miguel in the quarterfinals, and I had a pretty good showing, and then people started to tell me, no, it's possible, you could actually get this, and you could be a Rookie of the Bubble and things like that. But honestly, for me, it's really about the wins. I think in anything, if you win, that's when you get recognized. I mean, you can be as good as you can be in every game, but if you don't win the game, people are not really going to recognize you for what you're doing. So that's my number one priority always.
And looking at the list of those players who won PBA Rookie of the Year in the past 20 years, it's always been a player picked within the first 5. But you and Larry Fonacher, also another Atenean,
yes.
He also won Rookie of the Year, and he was picked 14th in his batch.
Yeah, Larry's actually somebody I look up to, being an Atenean as well, and having such a great career also in the PBA and in college. Yeah, I mean, I guess the work that, like I said, the 4 months of work that I was able to put in ended up, giving me the chance to be that Rookie of the Year. At the same time, I think it was also a motivational factor for me to continue on, because you can always get that award and then you can relax. But for me, I wanted to continue on and work even harder to make other goals work, like of course the championship and things like that.
Your teammate Chris Newsome was here a week ago, and we're seeing some of the pictures from the Meralco Bolts winning that championship in the Philippine Cup. There you go. What was going through your mind, like, at that moment where it was really down to the wire, that game against San Miguel? I remember it so well, Chris hitting the shot. What was going through your mind knowing that you guys were going to win for the very first time as a franchise?
I was just happy to stop seeing all those comments about Meralco losing in the finals or not finishing the job. And I think when we were able to do that, we were able to shut a lot of doubters up, and we were able to get one for the franchise, because the franchise is so good to us. The Meralco franchise, very professional, great franchise to play for. So it's nice to reward them with a championship.
And Chris, during his finals MVP speech, he asked everybody in the crowd, do you believe? Why did you have that belief in yourself? What was the key factor in your journey to the championship that made you guys buy in and believe that you could finally win a championship in the PBA?
Honestly, I think it was us being a family. We're a very close-knit group. We're together. We have a lot of team-building activities and things like that throughout the conference, and that really helped us. We even have these things before viewing sessions where Nu will lead us in a little meditating process and things like that. So just small things that really kept us together. Whether or not, I think that game, Junmar hit a big shot, and we still, we stuck together, whether it was a good or a bad time in the game or during the conference. Because there was a time where we were in, I think, 9th place in that conference. So we really stuck together, we stuck through it, and we were able to get it done.
And that shot by Junmar, fading away, falling down, perfect form, 3-point shot, but you guys still managed to pull it out. Aaron, maybe there's something you want to promote coming up for yourself. I know you're also doing some TV work now. Congratulations on that. Yeah. So what's been up with you lately, and what can we look forward to you doing moving forward?
Well, I've been doing the UAP lately. Thankful that I get the chance to do that. I'm having a lot of fun doing the games, and it's about to end actually, but I was able to do a certain number of games. I'm looking forward to more games next year as well. Of course, the PBA is starting. Right now we're 2-0. We have a game on Friday. And then moving forward, of course, the EASL. We go to Korea, I think 2 weeks from now, to play over there. So just a lot of things that I'm excited for, and I hope everybody can watch us and support us.
And there you go. Aaron Black, catch him. Point guard for the Meralco Bolts. Aaron, thank you so much for dropping by.
For sure.
And all the best with everything you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
When the scorecard returns, 2 NBA games will undergo deep scrutiny. So be sure to keep your eyes on the prize. Good morning, everyone! At the moment,
Join Paulo Del Rosario.
Up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
I'm Asis Carrido.
Always happy to start the morning with you and add laughter and good vibes to your day.
And Monique Guzon.
Join us in the next hour for stories and our more fun and conversations that matter. Defying gravity. Yes, only here on It's a Beautiful Day.
This is Weather HQ.
Good morning. Welcome to Weather HQ. I'm Paolo Del Rosario. Today's headline.
Get to know the latest weather update and forecast with information to help us understand important aspects regarding our
Will
climate.
help to prevent flash
To
flooding.
provide access to clean water and the system level services to everybody who needs it.
Kung alala po natin, ang northeasterly wind flow po ay malamig na hangin po.
Whatever the weather, here on BNC.
Weather HQ, 9 a.m. The Bilyonaryo News Channel.
We celebrate the way our home regions have developed distinct dishes and flavors. We have found unique methods of using spices and flavorings. Food is most easily the most expressive cultural expressions. Each tradition tells a story of how a people have related to the land, have developed a culture of tastes and flavors. Each and every one of them a delicious expression of Dayaw, our knowledge, our pride.
It has no authorization.
We hope and pray that it will not rise.
Thanks for having me here.
Our frustrated
By myself, basically. We always say that.
It depends.
A well-concerted effort.
Perhaps I can reiterate.
My greatest beefsteak. Iba na iba pala yun.
Beauty, health, adventure. This is for you. Join Marie Lozano where she uncovers the untold stories and unexpected surprises in the world of lifestyle.
We wanted to create a space where we could dive into these topics not just by talking to experts, but experiencing the topics firsthand. Let me tell you about the Lifestyle Lab.
On BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge you need to stay ahead of the game. Tomorrow, December 5 at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time, live from the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida, it's a matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat. The Los Angeles Lakers enter this game with a 12-9 record, sitting at 8th in the Western Conference. They're looking to rebound after a tough 80-109 loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Davis posted a double-double with 12 points and 11 rebounds. But the Lakers struggled offensively, shooting just 4 for 16 from the three-point line. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat hold a 9-10 record, 7th in the Eastern Conference. They're coming off an 89-108 loss to the Boston Celtics. Jaime Jaquez Jr. led the way for Miami with 19 points and 10 rebounds. But the team shot a lowly 23% from beyond the arc. Looking at the numbers, the Heat have been strong defensively this season, holding opponents to just 109.8 points per game. While the Lakers' defense has struggled, giving up 114.9 points on average. On the offensive side, the Heat averaged 110.1 points per game, slightly edging out the Lakers' 106.5. The Heat are slight favorites in this one at minus 2.5, while the Lakers are at plus 2.5. The over-under for this game is set at 218.5 points. Now, Miami's Jimmy Butler is questionable but crucial to their offense, of course. Bam Adebayo will be looked upon to carry the load if Butler cannot go. For Los Angeles, Anthony Davis, who averages 27.8 points and 11.5 rebounds, is also listed as day-to-day. His presence will be critical for the Lakers to stay competitive. Can the Heat bounce back at home behind their strong defense? Or will Anthony Davis and the Lakers find their groove on the road? The stage is set for an exciting matchup at the Kaseya Center. Another game at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time, live from TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. It's an Eastern Conference showdown between the Detroit Pistons and Boston Celtics. The Detroit Pistons come into this matchup with a 9-14 record after a 96-111 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. Malik Beasley led Detroit with 19 points, but the team struggled with inconsistency, and an early 22-7 run by Philadelphia sealed their fate. The Boston Celtics, on the other hand, improved to 15-4 with a dominant 108-89 victory over the Miami Heat. Jaylen Brown put up 29 points, while Peyton Pritchard added 25 off the bench. his fourth straight game with 20 or more points. Detroit's forward Bobby Clintman is out, while Boston's Drew Holiday and Jason Tatum are listed as game-time decisions, which could impact their rotation. Looking at the stats, the Celtics have been dominant at home, averaging 116.5 points per game while holding opponents to just 104.3. The Pistons have struggled on both ends, averaging 103.7 points while giving up 112.8. Boston is the heavy favorite in this one at minus 12.5, while Detroit sitting at plus 12.5. The over-under is set at 215.5 points for the Pistons. They will rely heavily on Jaden Ivey and Malik Beasley to carry the offensive load, especially with Cade Cunningham still recovering. For the Celtics, Jaylen Brown and Derek White have been consistent contributors, but Peyton Pritchard has been the X factor off the bench. His scoring surge continues to be a storyline this season. The odds tell the story of a lopsided matchup, but the Pistons could surprise if they can limit turnovers and capitalize on second-chance points. Can the Celtics defend their home court and continue their hot start to the season? Or will Detroit play spoiler in Boston? That wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From four-time NBA champion and two-time MVP, Stephen Curry, he says, "I've never been afraid of big moments. I get butterflies, I get nervous, I get anxious. But those are all signs that I'm ready for the moment." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again here tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. My name is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.
Straight.